Hi, people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Esther's Journal. If you are new here, thank you so much for coming to my channel. I am sure you're going to love it here. And for my returning subscribers, thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you for the love in the last series, my relocation series. Thank you guys. I really do not take this for granted. So today I am here with another juicy gist. Yes, juicy gist. So today I'm going to be talking about my relocation story, my timeline, the process, everything I did to get my visa to come to Canada. If this is something you would love to listen to, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this story time. So now to the gist. So I applied for the spousal sponsorship visa under the family class. You only apply for this visa when you have a spouse or a common law partner who is a permanent resident or a citizen in Canada. So there are some certain requirements you need to have to be able to apply for this type of visa. First of all, you have to be 18 years and above. Yes, you and your spouse who is resident in Canada as a PR or a citizen, you have to be 18 years and above. That's of legal age. Secondly, you have to be legally married. You have to show that you have been legally married and you have your marriage certificate to show for it. Thirdly, you have to have an international passport, a valid one. So another point is that your partner has to have proof of income. That's to show IRCC that they can take care of you while you wait for a job or you search for a job when you land in Canada. Another point again is also that you would need other proof of relationship. So when I say other proof of relationship, I mean pictures of both of you. Maybe your partner had come to visit you, you guys had gone for vacation, your charts, all the juicy charts. In our case, we started off on Instagram, so we had all the charts from 20 to 2017 when we started talking. We had all of that chart up until the point we were going to submit our application. So you want to include that, and also you would also need pictures from maybe the introduction ceremony, the wedding ceremony, everything, just to show them that your relationship is genuine. So you also want to print out your bank statement and show IRCC the movement of money from you and your partner. Either your partner is sending you money or you are sending your partner money. Something to just show them that, and this has to be over time, not, you don't do this in like 3 months, in 2 months, and you think that would do it. It has to be over time. You have to see that you guys have been sending money from time. In our case, we printed statement from back, I think 2019 or 2020. I went to print out my statement from 2019 showing proof that my husband sent me money up until the point we were going to apply for our visa. So, if you've been able to put all these documents together to show IRCC that your relationship with your partner or your common law partner, your spouse, is genuine, then it is now time to apply for your visa. In our case, after we got married in July of 2023, and my partner was going to go back the next week, we decided to start the process just before he leaves for Canada. Although we couldn't finish immediately because it was like 2 or 3 days before he was going to leave, so we couldn't finish it, but we continued when he was already back to his base and I was already back to my base. So we continued the process, and it took us roughly about a month. It took us a month to finish, because you want to be sure that you are doing everything right. You don't want them returning your application for a simple mistake. We followed somebody. There was this guy online that gave all the information that we needed. In fact, it was so detailed, and we followed it, and we we finished up with our application. So on the 28th of August, we finally finished the application and then we submitted. So when we submitted, I got a mail. It usually comes like this: do not reply from IRCC. I got a mail stating that we had submitted they've received the application, we have submitted, and then they will let us know what the next step is. Now, this is where the wait begins. So usually we knew that, or I knew following the timeline, that usually you will get AOR, which we call the acknowledgement of receipt from IRCC, usually after 2 months. And then I was waiting, or we were waiting for 2 months to elapse, and then we will get this mail. And then we were just living our lives. September came and September went, October came and October went. Around October ending, I was like, okay, we should be expecting our AOR anytime from now, but that did not happen. So before then, we had heard that we could apply for a visitor visa, a temporary resident visa under the family class. So while we're waiting, we joined different platform on Facebook, and then we then discovered that you can actually apply for a temporary resident visa. As per your spouse is already in Canada, you can go and visit them, apply for a visa to go and visit them while you wait for your PR application to be approved. IRCC allows you to apply for this type of visa because your spouse is already there. It's just a temporary stay visa, just for you to see your partner briefly and come back to your home country. So that was it. So we put together all the documents that we need for this visa, and then on October 22nd, we applied for it. And then the next day, being October 23rd, we got a mail for me to go and do my biometrics. Yes, we got a biometric instruction letter on October 23rd. Immediately I got my biometric instruction letter, I quickly went to the VFS website and booked a date for my biometrics. And then I got November 17th. All this while, I had still not heard back from IRCC as per our permanent resident application. That's the spousal sponsorship application. So all this while, we are still not heard back from IRCC, and then my husband reached out to the member of parliament representing his constituency back in Canada, and then these they can actually reach out to IRCC and try to investigate or find out the status of your relationship of your application and what the delay is all about. So we did that, and then we heard later from the MP that they are still working on our application and we have to be patient. So I went in for my biometrics on the 17th of November. I got that done, and then I could now I could now open a tracker to see what is going on in my application. So usually the TRV does not take so much time for IRCC to process. At least the timeline as at that time was 30 days. You should get back from them in 30 days. It is either they are approving your application or they are denying your application. So we're just waiting for one of them to happen. But we still did not hear anything from IRCC. And that was when we went into panic mode. Like, what is going on? By this time, we had already joined different groups on WhatsApp. That's from Facebook. We had joined different groups or I had joined different groups from WhatsApp. I even had to join a group that had like just Nigerians, because the timeline is usually different for every country. The timeline is different. As at that time, the timeline for Nigeria was for your spousal sponsorship was 13 months. So I joined this group and I started following up with other people's journey and timeline. And then I could see that some people had gotten AOR from August, because I applied in August and people had already started getting AOR from August. And I was wondering what could be the problem, but we just did not know what was going on. But we had to wait and pray. But by December, I started losing it because it was already 4 months. 4 months and no word from IRCC, not a word for as per our spousal sponsorship, not a word for our TRV. What is going on? We started panicking. And I remember going for Shiloh. I prayed, I cried, God, please, we do not want to wait so much, because we had heard different stories about how you could wait for 1 year, 2 years. Like, we do not want to wait that much to be reunited. We really could not wait that much. Please do something. December came and December went. And then I think the 31st night of December, that's the crossover night, I went to church. God, I was done. I'm like, this is going to be going to the 5th month, and we've not heard from these guys. Even the TRV that we thought they were going to treat immediately, is it that you are approving us or denying us? You have to do one of them. But we still did not hear from them. Oh my God, we're tired. I was tired. So 31st night, crossover night, went to church. I prayed. I told God, God, you just have to do this. I'm not going to enter 2024 praying for this same thing. AOR that people have gotten since October. They've done biometrics for their PR application. They've done, some people had even done medicals as at that time. People who even applied in September and even October had done biometrics. And I was just, yeah, I had not heard from anything from IRCC. It was really frustrating. One thing I know about this application is that when you're going to apply, Canada, oh, just have to start, know how to pray. Know how to pray. Just put on your patience heart. You have to be patient because there is really nothing you can do except God comes in for you and steps into the matter for you. There is nothing that you can do. So that was it. So we did New Year's Day. I was not happy, honestly, because by that time I thought that I would have already been in Canada. And before then, my my partner had was eligible to apply for citizenship, but because we had planned that I was going to be in Canada by the time he was going to be a citizen and be here for the ceremony, he had delayed a bit, but somehow he applied. When I applied in August, he also applied for citizenship, and then he did the test, and then by December they had called him for the citizenship ceremony. You can imagine how we felt. It was really, really sad. In fact, our December IRCC just scattered it for us. So that was it. So by this time, my partner had already become a citizen, and I was still back home. No word from IRCC. TRV was also there. There was nothing happening. So I was already seeing on my tracker that my biometrics are turned completed. But after then, nothing. It was just total silence. So I remember that in December, I sent a web form to IRCC asking what is going on. Is there a you can actually send a web form to IRCC to ask what the issue is, or just a general inquiry. You can do that. So I did that, and I just got a what's it called, an automated response that, oh, they are working on it, they'll get back to you, and that is it. So 1st of January came, and I had to resume work 2nd of January because I worked in a bank. So we had to resume 2nd of January. I remember going to work that day. I was just like, I was not happy. In fact, I was not happy. And then coming back home that day, I remember I was walking down to the house, and then my partner called me and like, something has happened. I'm like, what happened? Because it was already evening our time and it was morning their time. So it was like something happened though. He got a mail. I'm like, which mail? What happened? Said he got a mail from IRCC. This was 2nd of January. Like, got a mail from IRCC that they had received the application. That is what we called AOR. Oh my God. I was screaming like, how? I was like, how? Because in fact, it was the last thing I was thinking about as at that time. I was not thinking about it. I was just frustrated. But I'm like, 2nd of January, in my mind, people are still at home eating Christmas chicken, and like, these guys, like, what's going on? I was so excited. I was really happy. And they were just waiting for the next miracle to happen. But so I went home where I was very happy, called my family members, told everyone, oh, we've gotten a while, oh, we are happy, this, that. And then we're waiting. Second day, 3rd of January, I went to work again. My husband called me. Oh my God, I received biometric instruction letter and SA. SA is sponsors approval. That is eligible to sponsor me to Canada. Oh my God, 2 miracles in one day. Ha, unbelievable. Going from not hearing anything, a word in 4 months, to 2 miracles in one day. God, if you had asked me for all the money in my account that day, I swear I will give you everything. I was so happy. I was so happy that day. And that was it. So because we had gotten our biometrics a day before, that was 2nd of January, I had already quickly I went to, because you have to, yes, that's for me not to, let me not forget this. You have to, when you do biometrics for, as at that time when we applied, when you do biometrics for temporary resident visa, that's giving your biometrics, you have to do it again for a PR visa. It is only when you do for PR visa first that you do not need to give for a TRV or a visitor's visa. But because I had done for visitors visa first, I had to give this time again for my permanent resident visa. So I booked my appointment for my biometrics with VFS, and then I got 8th of January. So I went in 8th of January, gave my biometrics again, and then by this time I can now see my application, everything showing on my tracker, and then I could now open a GCK account. So a GCK account allows you to see every details of your application, whatever is going on in your application. The GCK account lets you to see, like, it allows you to see it. Do you get, like an X-ray? It just allows, it shows everything. So by this time we could open a GCK account. So we did that, and then we continued waiting. At least we were happy. We got something in January. We were waiting, and then exactly January 29th. January 29th. I was just, we had guests that day and they were just leaving. I said, okay, let me just pick up my phone. And I saw that I had a mail. I just opened the mail and I saw do not respond. Hey, God, I'm like, do not respond. When you see that mail, oh, just forget about it. It's good news. So I got a mail, do not respond. I'm like, what is going on? It was a Saturday, I will never forget. I'm like, what is this? What is this? And I opened it. It was my medical instruction letter, medical request. So they were asking me to go and do my medicals. Ha, God. In 1 month, I got biometrics, I got sponsor approval, I got medical instruction letter, I got AOR, I got everything in 1 month. Sorry, everything in 1 month. So I went to the website. So usually you can do your medicals in Nigeria in two different hospitals. It's either you're using Q Life or you're using IOM. So I decided to use Q Life, and as at that time, I paid 79,000 and some change for my medicals, and then I got February 8th to do my medicals. So I was waiting. But meanwhile, while we were waiting, we were wondering what happened to our visitors visa. We did not hear anything from my house, so we kept sending web form upon web form upon web form, but we got the automated response, the generic response that, oh, they are working on the application and we should just wait. So we were waiting. So March 8th came and I went in for my medicals. So the medicals, generally you just do different types of examination for you, on you, did ECG, blood work and everything. Just, I don't know what they actually look out for, but they just take out the samples and do everything, and then they ask you to go. They are going to send your results to IRCC. So I did this and then I moved on. So by this time, we now started thinking. Somebody now said that he had applied for TRV before, got denied, or didn't hear back from IRCC, and then he decided to apply again. And then this time, he got a quick response. In a week, they approved him. So we're now wondering, should we try? Should we give it a go? So we decided to try. We decided to give it a try. And then we applied for another TRV. Meanwhile, our first TRV was just there. It was just sitting pretty, not doing anything. So we applied for the second TRV on the 2nd of March 2024. We did that and we're just there waiting. So my biometrics immediately uploaded, like, it updated on my portal for my second TRV, because I had already given biometrics even twice. So it just updated. I didn't need to go anywhere. I didn't need to go and redo my biometrics. It was updated on the tracker and I saw it. So after a week, I think exactly a week after we applied for my second TRV, we got a mail from IRCC and they denied my application. So IRCC denied my application. So their reason was because they are not sure that I will leave Canada at the end of my visa, my stay, that I would not leave Canada. And I did not have strong ties to Canada. It was crazy, but I didn't really bother so much about it. I just moved on because by this time our application was already moving, so I didn't bother myself so much about it. So after this happened, we were just there waiting, expecting that something was going to happen again, because the last we did on our PR application was my medicals that happened February 8th. So we're just waiting and waiting and seeing what was going to happen. Nothing was happening. By this time, we're ordering GCMS notes. So my husband ordered GCMS notes. The GCMS notes is like a note that allows you to see everything, every details, the officer who is in charge of your application, every note it takes on your application, whatsoever step they are doing, it shows on the GCMS note. Like everything just comes to light on that note. So we ordered for the GCMS note. We also reached out to the MP by this time to tell him that okay, our second TRV that we applied for was denied, and then the first one is still there. We've not heard anything about it. And then they also said okay, they were going to reach out to IRCC. So the MP reached out to us after about 2 weeks and told us that we should be patient, keep waiting, and then when it gets to a certain time and we do not hear anything as per our application TRV, we should reach out to them. So I think it was, I cannot remember the exact time, but I think it was like late April. And then we're just waiting. I was already tired by this time. My all my body, spirit, and soul. I was tired. What are we waiting for right now? Well, the only thing you're waiting for right now is maybe pre-arrival. We're just waiting for that to happen. That didn't happen. So 11th of April, I remember it was a public holiday. I can't remember what the occasion was that day, but we are at home. I didn't go to work, and then I called my partner. It was like 4 p.m. Nigerian time, and that was when he was going to wake up and go to work, Canada time. And then I called him, and we're on the phone talking, and he just said, wait, oh, wait. I got a message that he got a message that there's a message waiting for him in our GCK account. Ha! My heart was just beating. Like, which message? What's going on? Which message? So while I was still on the phone. I was listening to him. Was like, ha! That Esther's like they've approved your TRV. I'm like, which TRV? They just rejected my TRV now. Which TRV? He said, this is they've approved your first TRV. I'm like, are you sure it's my name? Look at this thing very well. Are you sure this thing is my name? You can see my name on this thing. I said, yes, so I can see your name. Oh. He said they've approved your, so he sent me the letter, the one that was sitting pretty in our GCK account. So he sent it to me, and then I looked. Oh my God, they approved our first TRV from not hearing anything. Imagine October, we applied in October, November, December, January, February, March, April. 6 months we did not hear anything about the application, and they approved it. Oh my God, it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. Neither of us could believe it, but it happened. And then it dawned on me that I need to leave. And like now I am going to leave. Wow. The reason we couldn't even believe that that visa was going to be approved because they denied the first one, the second one, and said that that I was not going to leave and all the generic message that IRCC would usually send out. So how come they just approved the first one we have forgotten about, waiting, by this time we're waiting for the PR to actually happen. And I'm like, these people, they are so unpredictable. But I had to start making preparations to leave by this time because my application was almost nearing the end. My peer application was almost coming to an end. I did not have anything else to do in Nigeria. I've done medicals, I've done my biometrics, so I needed to start leaving, to start planning to leave. So I sent my passport through DHL to VFS. I sent my passport to them, and then in a week it got stamped and sent back to me, and then I started getting ready to leave. So I left Nigeria May 11th, sorry, May 17th. May 17th, I left Nigeria, and then I landed my city exactly May 19th. That's early morning of May 19th. I got here, and then that was it. So that's my relocation journey. That's how I got to Canada. And then when I got to Canada as a visitor, I cannot, of course, you cannot get a SIN, that's your social insurance number, basically you can't really do so much because you're a visitor. That was my status in Canada. And then so I sent IRCC a web form telling them, letting them know that I am now in Canada on a visit visa, and I will be ready whenever they are ready for virtual landing. So I did that. I sent a web form to IRCC, and then they got back to me. So when I informed IRCC about my landing in Canada already, and I was ready for virtual landing when the time comes, they responded to me immediately. And then June 7th came, I got a mail. So this mail we call Porter One mail. So basically, IRCC asks you to give them information about yourself, your eye color, your height, your phone number, your email address, your postal code and everything. They just ask you to give them all of this information. I responded to IRCC and then I gave them all of this information. But somebody now told me that there is a method I can do that would trigger a quicker response from IRCC. It's called the KAI method. I like to call it the KAI method. So I did this method. This method is basically you sending this same information as IRCC had asked you in your portal one. It's basically sending it to a different visa offices, different Canada visa offices, IRCC visa offices. So I'm gonna check my phone to see the visa office I sent this information to. So I think I sent this information to the so I sent this information to the Etobicoke landing CICGC dot. In fact, I cannot say everything, but I sent it to Etobicoke. I sent it to there's this portal client portal mail. I sent it to. I sent it to Ontario client portal IRCC. I sent it to three others, Calgary inclusive. I sent it, and I this was like 2 or 3 days after my portal one. So I sent all of this to all these. I sent all the information, which actually includes your date of birth, your UCI, your height, original entry date, date of last time you entered Canada, location of where you last entered Canada, address, and some other information. So I sent all this information to all these people or this email address. I did that. And then on the 12th of June, I got a mail for Porter 2. In fact, it was like this. I got a mail for Portal 2. I did that also. It basically just upload a picture. I think they use that for your PR card. You upload a picture, answer some questions, agree to a certain they give your consent to a certain write up. I can't remember what it says now. Just give some basic information here and there, upload, submit it, and that is Portal 2. So I did that on the 12th of June, did all of that on the 12th of June. And then on the 14th of on the 14th of June, I got a message. I'm going to put up that message here. I'm going to put the message here. I got a message that I am now a permanent resident of Canada. That was the day I became a permanent resident. So I became a permanent resident of Canada on the 14th of June. Oh my god, it felt like, so how many months was that? So this is August, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. It took 9 months. My application took exactly 9 months, almost 9 months to finalize. So I became a permanent resident, and I could now apply for a social insurance number and every other thing that a permanent resident or a citizen can apply for. So that is it. That's my relocation experience. That's my timeline. It was a looking back now. I don't know. It was a lot. If you are going to be doing anything, if you are going to be applying for a visa to Canada, please be patient and be very prayerful. There is nothing that prayers cannot do. Be very prayerful. So that's my timeline, guys. It can be a very stressful experience, a very stressful one. But I tell you something, it's going to be worth it at the end of the day. It is going to be worth it, and really, it is worth it. I am in this beautiful country and I'm enjoying it. It's such a beautiful country. So that is it. I want you also to remember that I am not an immigration expert. This is from my own everything I've said today is from my own personal experience. I am not an immigration expert. So if you are in the process of applying for a spousal sponsorship, please refer to the website, the Canada website, to see everything, to find out everything you need for this process. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching this exciting video. I'm sure you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed filming it. I hope you guys stick around. Please don't forget, please, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Leave nice comments in my comment section. Like this video, share it. Somebody somewhere might just need this video to put your application together. Please be your brother's keeper. Share this video, share my video, please. Subscribing is free. YouTube will not take any money from you, please. And I want us to get to a certain number before the end of this year, please, guys. And I would also be coming with a lot more juicy content. I want you guys to stick with me and enjoy this channel as I ride along with you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching this video. Bye.